I'm Pastor Rick, and I want to tell you a story. I met Reverend Kennedy many years ago as a teenager when I first joined the church. Several years had passed. We had moved away, came back. Um, I found myself back at that same church as the youth pastor. By now, Reverend Kennedy had retired, but he was still a very valuable member of the church and a great encourager to the pastor and the people. We eventually moved out of state so I could go to school. We had learned that Reverend Kennedy was now in a nursing home. A victim of Alzheimer's, everything was slipping away from Reverend Kennedy. But there were pockets of joy for him, even in the middle of this dark time. You see, Reverend Kennedy didn't forget everything. Some things were locked away in the man's soul that could not be forgotten. The first was Mrs. Kennedy. While he did forget her name, and he didn't remember that they were married, he instinctively knew her and was warmed every time that she would come to visit. Their days together were pleasant, and his smile never diminished. Next, Reverend Kennedy never forgot that he was a pastor. In fact, I guess what he did forget was that he had retired years ago, because Reverend Kennedy came to believe that the nursing home was actually his church. So every morning he would dress himself into a suit and a tie, and he would go visiting his parishioners up and down the hallways. In Revelation 2:4, God is speaking. He says, "There is one thing that I hold against you. You have forgotten your first love." We work hard to serve God. We bring our offerings into the church. We make sure that we're there every time the doors are open. But have you remembered your first love? Do you remember to take the time to just love God? Reverend Kennedy had two loves. He loved his dear wife, and he loved being a pastor. It was who he was. It was part of his identity. When all the trappings are stripped away, who are you? When the electronics are silenced and the busyness of this world is silenced, when you have reflected on the things that are most important for you, who are you? Who is your first love? I'm a husband. I'm a father. I'm a child of God. If that is what is most important to me, should it not show through? Let's pray. Lord, I am yours and you are mine. Thank you for the many blessings that you have given to me, but let me never forget that you are my first love. Amen.